Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Geeks the Roundtable podcast for October 27th, 2013. With me today is not another reviewer, Tim Bauer.
Hello.
General Zilla.
Hello.
When Bad Movies Attacks, Josh Hodgetts.
Hello, everyone.
Matthew Hartley of the Sofa Reviews.
Hello.
And welcoming back for the first time in a while, ERP Princess.
Hello.
As some of you may be aware, Halloween is coming up, so I figured we can start this podcast by talking about some of the things that we might be doing for the holiday. Josh, your profile picture is catching my attention right now, so how about you go ahead and describe to the people what you're dressed as? Okay,
right. There's a thing in the UK, well, not a thing, I think it's quite worldwide, called a theme park, and basically there's this Halloween event that they have on Alton Towers, which is called Scarefest, which is basically people dress up in costume and they go walking around this amusement park. And I decided to go as a banking horse, a horse who is a banker, and that was literally it. I walked around, and there was like zombies and clowns, and then there was a horse, and it threw people off, and it's brilliant. And I had pictures with people, and basically I felt like a total boss. That's my story. There you
go. All right.
It was quite fun. I had quite a lot of people actually say nasty things to me. Somebody said, "Why the long face?"
I presume you punched them in the face for that.
Oh, no, I didn't have my mask on at the point. That was the worst part about it. It was. But now, yeah, I just replied with, "Yeah, but your mum's a whore," and that was it. Then that was literally the only thing I could say. So it was pretty good.
You asked if you were from Tesco's.
That was it. Somebody else should have shouted Tesco murderers. That's what I should have shouted, actually.
That might be one only us two get.
Oh, UK jokes. Oh.
Yeah, there was a big scandal not too long ago about discovering horse meat in almost every form of meat available.
Yeah, that too over here.
Ah, that was there as well.
Yeah.
Something to do with Switzerland, I think? I can't remember. One country that just didn't have the regulations that we claimed they had.
I didn't quite understand why eating horse meat was bad, but
from that point of view, it wasn't. It's just more, if horse meat was in it and we didn't know about it, what else is in it that we don't know about?
Well, we eat McDonald's chicken nuggets, so I don't think we can really talk on not knowing what exactly is in our food.
Yeah, but at least you know what to expect with chicken nuggets, in that you don't know what to expect. You know not to expect anything.
You go in there not expecting meat in the first place, so...
True.
No!
Tim's view on life is shattered, I guess.
No, I worked at, like most people, I worked at McDonald's, and it was beef. It was cooked in its own grease, so it was mostly liquid, but it was beef.
And
the chicken nuggets?
The chicken nuggets, they're chicken with, like, pork filler, so the darker meat ones have, like, pork in them. But you can find white meat ones, because it's a process where everything's just kind of thrown into a machine and gets pooped out, you know? But, yeah, that's that.
Seriously?
Thanks for that visual image.
Yeah.
But how do people get away with that, like, over here? Because a lot of places around here that serve meat has to be halal meat, which is, you guys probably already know what that is. But I think chicken's all right, and if it has pork in it, that's like the biggest offence they could actually have.
Over here, our regulations are different over here, so we have a lot more strictness about it. For the most part, anyway.
Okay, because I worked in McDonald's for 2 years myself, but I don't really remember anything about it, so it's quite good.
So I think we talked about it before, how just Europe in general has, even for its fast food, the regulation, it just leads to, at least for the McDonald's anyway, a higher standard. Though that doesn't mean you won't find crap in the smaller places.
I'm not really surprised about that, actually.
Shit, our whole country's food wasn't even being inspected for like 2.5 weeks, so fucking nobody cares here.
Happy Halloween.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Well, as for myself, the only costume I have is the one I wore to Anime Midwest this past summer, and that's a Slender Man. As I've probably mentioned on here before, being around 7 feet tall, I think I make a pretty convincing one when I put the mask on.
Fucking frightening.
Yeah, I can see that.
Though I can never top my sophomore year of college when I built if I might say so, a pretty damn good Megazord costume from the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh, no shit!
Yep.
I didn't even know that, and I made a Megazord joke about you the one day.
I thought you did know that just because of that joke.
No, I didn't know that. I just thought you were tall. Fucking, I've been watching Power Rangers lately. The Megazord.
Nice. But yeah, it was,
I'm sorry, I missed that.
It was on one of Joey's statuses on Facebook.
Oh.
It was the one where he said, what was it? That you're the something of typing.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was that he said. But, oh, Joey.
Hang on.
And while he's looking that up, I believe that someone in this podcast is thinking with portals.
Yes, indeed.
Segway.
For science, of course. My Halloween costume this year is, of course, going to be Chell from Portal 2. And can't say that I've really made any of it myself. I found on Think Geek much every piece of the costume except for the socks. So, of course, Aperture Laboratories, jumpsuit, tank top, socks, and, of course, the portal gun.
Of course.
Of course.
Do you have a
Yeah,
potato?
outside of that, the rest... No, I don't have a potato. I should get one. And put some weird little dials or whatever on it. A flashing light or something. I didn't think of that.
You could have the potato power of the flashing light.
What?
But anyway,
That was-
I think outside of the like all of the things, the costume itself would be pretty easy because she is, like at least look like a mid-20s dark-haired chick, and I have brown hair, so why not?
There you go.
Wow.
That picture is fantastic.
Wow, that is awesome.
That took me 25 hours and nearly me and my friend Austin's sanity to fully put together.
That's like
Wow.
the best costume I've ever seen.
Just the way he's standing.
I know.
I'm the Megazord, bitch.
You do look like you're as tall as the roof there.
I just about am. But,
It's pretty sweet.
so Zilla, you doing anything for Halloween?
I'm going to a little party, followed by going to a thought to be haunted place in our town, and we're going to be doing sort of a investigation of sorts, just as a little fun. I'll be dressed as the wrestler Mankind the whole time, so.
I've actually met him. Kinda.
Well, the Mankind or
Yeah.
Was he just dressed as that all the time?
Actually, I didn't recognize him at first. She's like, "Is that?" No, because he was like quiet and nice and stuff, and you don't expect that from seeing him on TV. So yeah.
Yeah, I actually did a comedy tour lately. It's weird.
All right, Tim.
Yo. I'm not really dressing up or anything this Halloween. I'm just focusing on the
Lame.
reviews. Yeah. I'm not very good with deadlines, so I've been forcing myself to forego everything in order to make deadlines. So I have a 2-part Halloween special starting Halloween night and then going into the next day if I can get the second part done in time. First part's already done. You can hold me to that one. Halloween night, a video of mine is coming out. So, second time I make a deadline in a row. Woo!
All right.
Yeah, I got.
Nice.
It's not interesting. It's not interesting at all. I'm sorry.
God,
I'm not dressing. I'm not dressing up as anything cool.
You're fired.
We'll take our jacket back. Thank you very much.
Oh.
God, I get fired every podcast. What's going on?
Just as a quick aside, speaking of things that happen every podcast, Josh, did you hear about how Nick Cage is the greatest actor alive according to China?
Yeah, I heard that. Me and Sean are bros now, basically. It's just brilliant, isn't it? There's no other word for it. It's just graceful. That's the best word. Or majestic as fuck, as it keeps cropping up lately. Actually, while we're on that subject about, well, Zilla mentioned about Mankind doing a comedy tour. Dave Chappelle's doing a tour. You guys are lucky. You Americans like, he won't come over here. That's just sad. So, a great comedian, brilliant comedian.
Oh yeah.
So that's the thing.
And I believe
I haven't seen a lot of Dave Chappelle's stand-up or anything, but from what I've seen, he's pretty funny.
From a white person's perspective, you have to laugh. Kind of, it's like if you just sit there shaking your head, then you just feel racist, so you just have to laugh. That's basically how I look at it.
Basically.
Whoa!
Yay, racism.
No, genuinely though, he's hands down my favourite comedian, regardless of colour. I don't discriminate. Look, we have a lady in the group. I don't discriminate.
I guess that makes me a
Thanks,
horrible
I
person.
guess.
I guess that makes me a horrible person because my favorite comedian's Dylan Moran. Not very
Never heard.
diverse.
Oh,
Never
Tim,
even heard.
you were already a horrible person.
Also,
wish I
Dylan
could deny
Moran's
that.
great.
Yes,
You could have
yes,
said
he
Dan
is.
Cook.
Whoa, whoa.
I think the last podcast we were talking about we didn't get the Dane Cook hate, but I don't know. I don't remember.
What?
That's been mentioned that someone doesn't
Yeah.
understand the Dane Cook hate.
Yeah.
What's that film?
Yeah, I
is
think
in?
that was the things we love. No, things we was it things we hate that other people love?
Yeah, that was last week's podcast.
The one.
Or
Good
last
luck,
time.
Chuck. There we go. Good luck,
The
Chuck.
last week. Week is such a loose term with this.
It's a week in our
Last-
unique time frame. That only applies to us, I guess. It's like a galactic
said-
week in Men in Black.
No, a Galactic Standard Week in Men in Black was a fucking hour. We're not even close by even that standard. Yes, I remember that. Don't ask me why.
Men in Black was a
Lighting.
great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually pretty
But-
impressed because I did not remember that.
I haven't seen it in years, so I'm gonna have to take your word on it.
I kind of want to watch through all three of them now and just have a good time through the first, be kind of through the second, and then see what the third's all about.
The third one is actually worlds better than the second. Not that that's that hard, because I thought the second was a piece of garbage, but
Yeah.
I was very entertained by the third one, if nothing else.
I have to finish Sherlock first.
Actually, that's the thing. What is everybody watching nowadays? Because I'm hooked on a few things. So that's pretty cool.
I'm just waiting on the Doctor Who 50th anniversary.
I've barely been watching anything lately. I've mainly just been playing Hotline Miami and getting really angry.
What a
at
game.
it. Yeah.
I love
Matt,
Hotline
do you believe that was made in Game Maker?
Really?
Yeah.
That gives me so much hope.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it myself. I read it. I was like, nah, that ain't true. And yeah, it genuinely was.
It's a really good game, but I hate it. It's just fucking Panthers. If that makes sense, you've gotten through quite far in that game.
I watched through the entirety of Supernatural that was on Netflix, and I loved the show when I started watching it, but I hate it now because the last few seasons are fucking terrible. And then after that, I started watching Sherlock, and I really like that show.
That's a show I need to watch. I've been meaning to watch Sherlock for a long time.
Dude, do yourself a favor and do it. It's good. It is good. You'll have to allot yourself a lot of time because there's like a total of 6 episodes. They're all an hour and a half long. So.
Oh, jeez.
And also,
Worth
I warn you, it is Moffat writing, so don't expect too many female role models.
Okay.
Moffat is terrible with that shit. So Steve Moffat, the guy who did Matt Smith's Doctor Who,
Oh,
he's the
yeah.
writer. He's the writer of Sherlock. So be ready for that.
Okay. Thanks for the warning.
Not a problem.
I do find it impressive how much of the original Sherlock Holmes stories they do manage to modernize and make reference to in Sherlock.
Yeah.
So I'm right now I'm rereading my big complete Sherlock Holmes book, and I keep going, oh, they mentioned that in Sherlock the TV series.
Yeah.
I still have not gotten it in me to try watching Elementary with Lucy Liu, but I keep being told that it's actually okay, so...
Yeah.
It's decent.
Oh,
Some things are good,
all
but you don't think they deserve to exist.
I think that's going to be my mindset with this show, regardless of how good it actually is.
And I'm also going to warn you, but the Moriarty's personality is a little jarring.
Okay.
Like, you're expecting, like, sinister evil, but the first few things he says, you're just like, that's Moriarty.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, we can roll with this. Well, the only thing I've been watching is I'm trying to think of what they actually cut. Korra, Legend of Korra, which is the second season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So yeah, it's my cartoon for Friday night.
My friends keep telling me to watch that, but I
I like
never
it.
give it a chance. It's what I've seen looks good, but I don't know. Whenever my friends keep telling me to watch something, I instinctively go against it.
I don't think it's as good as the original series, but it's definitely a good follow up. They reference the original quite a bit, and it's the same. It's set. I mean, obviously, not 100 years, but I mean,
it's
quite
like
a while.
60 years afterwards.
Yeah, 60 years or so.
Spoiler
And
alert. Aang. Spoiler alert, but Aang dies prematurely because of the whole frozen in an iceberg thing.
yeah. But anyway, so I mean, it's a completely new cast of characters and a slightly more modernized world, but I still think it's pretty interesting.
I've heard a lot of complaints about the latest season, though. Like, a lot of people don't like Korra as a person. As
She
a
is
character.
really no. He's got a good point though, because she's really hard to feel empathy for because she's very outputting and very arrogant a lot of the time. So you really don't feel sorry for her when things happen, or you don't feel excited for her when things happen the right way. So yeah, I mean the character of Korra is a little hard to digest, I guess. But the show itself, I like a lot.
And when you say that, you know, it's not quite as good as Avatar: The Last Airbender, I mean, you got to keep in mind, at least me personally, I think that was probably the best animated show ever made.
Oh yeah, and if not the best, it's definitely in the top 10. And it's definitely, it would have been hard to create a sequel series that was as good as The Last Airbender really was, but what they've put out is still
Just-
I mean, I don't want to say it's just decent because it's definitely entertaining. You just kind of have to remember that it's a sequel, I guess.
I'm just saying that just when you say it's not as good as Last Airbender, that's not saying that the show's bad at all.
Right.
That is, but saying it's the best animated show ever made does get me curious because a lot of high standards to meet, like Cowboy Bebop, Batman the Animated Series,
I
uh,
as
and
somebody
Samurai
who's-
Jack are probably my favorites.
as somebody who's watched like all of those, Avatar: The Last Airbender is, I think it beats all of those.
I'll have to give it a try then.
Yeah, I'm a huge Bebop fan too, and I think I would put Airbender above Bebop, but only slightly because I just think Airbender had a lot more time to really develop their characters in the story, and so you really get to know them and you really feel for them in the first series. So, and while you do get to know the characters in Bebop, it's more of a it's more involving, I think, in Airbender.
Well, just
Well, it
Airbender
seems like a
starts
different-
out kind of. It starts out as a very kind of lighthearted kid show, but it like when shit gets real, it gets very real, and it stays like that. Like it's never. Very rarely does it just return to the status quo at the end of the storyline. Like there's always a development, and it almost
So it's an
always
ongoing
leads-
adventure more than a say Monster of the Week kind of show.
Yeah.
And I'm a big martial arts fan, so I really liked the whole. I watched the whole behind the scenes of how they made all the different bending types and things like that, and they actually brought in masters of each technique for each kind that they used, and they did kind of a CG, like they recorded them doing a lot of the moves, and then the animators focused on that to do the bending techniques, and so it's real stuff that they're doing.
Like rotoscoping?
I'm sorry?
I don't
Like
think
rotoscoping.
I don't think they rotoscoped it. I think they just.
No,
they used
no.
the-
I mean, it was.
they used
Yeah, the
martial
animators
artists.
focused on it. They researched, I guess, the different styles, and they didn't do any CG in the actual show, but they went off of the real stuff.
See, that's one of the things that makes me feel like a big hypocrite because I love animation and I'm a big fan of martial arts as well. Well, martial arts media. I don't practice anything because I'm fat. But it's like, I love things like the fights in Cowboy Bebop, the Street Fighter 2 animated movie. Anything that does martial arts animated really well, I tend to fall in love with quite easily.
Oh yeah, you'll love this then. You will absolutely love
Yeah,
it because
I'll have to
each,
give it
like I said, each of the different bending techniques is a different kind of martial arts. So the four that they use, fire is Shaolin Kung Fu. So that's everybody pretty much knows or has seen Shaolin Kung Fu at some point. Airbending is Bagua, which is a lot more
It's a lot of circular
momentum
motions.
based. Yeah, circular motion, momentum based, using your opponent's power against them. Let's see, waterbending is Tai Chi. So you're probably familiar with Tai Chi at least a little bit. Very fluid. And then earthbending is Hongar, which is very strong, very powerful movements, but few of them. So basically, they don't mess around.
Pretty sure I've come, at least just from playing fighting games and watching movies, I've seen all of those in action sometime.
Probably.
Some of my friends are practicing Tai Chi lately. But that one's kind of... But yeah, anyway.
For those of you listening, what you should take away from this is go watch Avatar.
Yes, do it.
I mean, to be fair, it's
The
been
whole-
on
Is it-
my list on Netflix for a while, and my friends watching that, so it's great. I just haven't got around to watching it.
Yeah, it's all on there. It's just...
It's pretty cool.
I got really annoyed at Netflix the other day because it sort of crashed. It was saying it wasn't working, and the British Netflix, I'm sure I've mentioned before, is kind of crap in terms of its the selection you have. But during this crash phase, it was showing all of these movies, including Dread, Carl Urban's one, and I really want to watch it. And then when it fixed, it's not there.
Oh no.
It's like, bastards! I want to watch that film. I could buy it, but I'm paying for Netflix.
Yeah, when I made my Danny Phantom review at the end, I said, "Oh, and if you want to watch it, it's all on Netflix." And then, like 3 days later, they took it off Netflix.
Oh.
You liar.
I've angered the Danny Phantom fan base, which is a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, wasn't that like your most well-received video?
My God, it's ridiculous. It's got like 11,000 views right now.
Are you serious?
11,000 people. You fucking lied to.
Like, the Danny Phantom fan base is a terrifying but vastly powerful source of people.
Oh, you can say that about almost every hardcore fanboys. It's back in like 6 years ago or so. It was Sonic fans. Now it's bronies. Like when Skyrim was on the way, Skyrim fans were going crazy. It was, I don't know. Every fandom has a certain group of people that are just pricks.
I know the Invader Zim army, if you want to put it like that, they are furious. They are. They've like they've signed like petitions and they've went to events and they've come on the verge of protesting in the streets to make another series of this pissing show. They are crazy. Which, to be fair, is
I want to know
show.
where my Johnny Bravo's gone. I love that show.
That was a good show.
Invader Zim was a good show, but I don't know if it was that spectacular.
I think it was just like weird though, wasn't it? I mean, it was a very, very dark tone for a child program, especially. Kind of on the same lines of Courage the Cowardly Dog. I mean, if you look back at it now, that was fucking terrifying.
Courage definitely was. That was something else at times.
Yeah. But I know they put Johnny Test back on Netflix, so that's pretty cool.
I've never watched that. But then I sort of grew up with Johnny Quest, so I kind of know where the name comes from, and it kind of annoys me. So, even though I don't really care about Johnny Quest, it's weird.
I know they brought back Nightmare. That's brilliant.
Yeah, with Stuart Ashens as well.
Yeah, it's mad. Absolutely mad. Did you guys get that over your area?
Not that I recall.
Nightmare. It was this game show that they had with the kids that come on, and one of them put like this bucket over their head, and they couldn't see, and the other three had to guide them through this like virtual reality world, and it was pretty shoddy. Like the special effects were really bad, and the acting was terrible, but it was so cheesy it come across hilarious, and
it's classic
with
British
the way
game show.
Yeah, with the way like the English pronounce certain things, like when we say if we say a direction, we say right, but when we say like a statement and it's correct, we say right as well. So there's been times where they were going, go left, and and the person will repeat to them, go left, and you go right, and then they'll step right and they'll fall off a ledge. And then like it was a good show, and like obviously Ashens is quite a big YouTuber. He started it, well, not started, but he got the whole cast back together, which was fucking awesome. So, quite a good show.
Yeah, we just had Legends of the Hidden Temple over here. But,
Did you get Crystal Maze at all?
not that I recall.
That one was good. It was a similar kind of concept, but with actual physical obstacles.
Nice.
And the goal of each one was to try and get the crystal in a sort of Indiana Jones style, kind of avoid the traps, get the thing, get out of there, and follow everyone's advice. The guy behind it, I can't remember his name, Richard Burton? No, not Richard Burton. But the guy behind it wrote the Rocky Horror Show.
Oh yeah.
And he also wrote the Dungeons and Dragons movie, the first one, if I remember right.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
at least in it. They had a little Crystal Maze moment in that as well.
So,
Speaking of animation, actually, there is a news recently of a new Sonic cartoon on the way.
seriously?
Really?
Yeah, like the fourth American-produced Sonic cartoon. Actually, maybe the third one. I think Underground was French, but there's one image of them all in silhouette, and Knuckles looks like freaking Hulk. I don't know what's going on, but it's apparently a comedy adventure show, so I'm wondering if they're going to rip off Adventure Time. That could work for Sonic.
Have you guys watched Adventure Time or Sonic
Yep.
Boom? It's going to be called. Look.
Yeah, I watched it. I watch it. Pretty caught up.
I like Adventure Time.
I think it has really good episodes and some really slow ones, but for the most part, overall, it's pretty good. So,
Richard O'Brien, there we are.
IMDb is a wonderful thing.
Yes. I'm lazy.
well, that'll do it.
He wrote The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
What?
I don't know what that is.
The movie.
Oh. I still don't know what that is.
It's listed under him. I don't know.
So I think... has anybody else heard of a little underground TV show called Breaking Bad? I heard it's quite good.
It's on the DL, but yes.
Jesus,
Well-
you really want to bring up something that obscure on the podcast? Fuck, man.
Nobody's
Well, I
going to
mean-
know what you're talking about.
I mean, we've got to bring some attention to it. I mean, it's finished now, so we've got to get some people to watch it. I mean, it's on Netflix. You know, people will just probably scroll straight past and they might go, "Hey, I've heard these people on the podcast." They'll ignore all the TV shows and the critical acclaim awards. 6 random people on an internet show said it was quite good, so fuck it, let's go watch that. No, but seriously, I think the last time we had a podcast, I started watching it, and I still haven't finished it, and I'm on like the 5th season now, and it's just brilliant in every single way.
Well, like you with Avatar, it's something that I mean to watch, but I also mean to start watching Game of Thrones, so we'll see.
That's
which
another one
comes
for me.
first.
I've got so many things I'm told I should watch at this point. I'm kind of wondering if I should just give up on everything and just spend a month of my life just catching up on every TV show I'm supposed to watch.
3 great TV shows on Netflix right now: Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones if you're American, and Fallen Skies. Fallen Skies is brilliant. Obviously, Game of Thrones depending on where you are, and Breaking Bad's obvious. They are brilliant shows.
I've been told to also watch Spartacus and the various series of that.
Yeah, Blood in the Sand. I've heard brilliant stuff about that. I do need to watch it. I've watched a few episodes, but out of sync, so didn't really have a clue what was going on.
And I'm really behind on Doctor Who, but I kind of don't care at this point. I'm just sort of tired of it.
Yeah, Matt Smith, he's a fine doctor, I guess, but between him and Moffat's writing, I'm kind of like I'm stoked to see David Tennant again and to see 2 new doctors interact, but as far as his last season with Clara goes, I think I saw like 3 episodes of it.
I think I stopped after the bit where he died in a robot body of himself or something, wearing a cowboy hat. That's where I stood.
The thing I
That
really dislike about Moffat's writing is that he tends to add new rules to things until his stories just fall apart. Like my favorite example is with the Weeping Angels, and then Don't Blink, the Weeping Angels were pretty terrifying, but I feel like in what were the next episode they were in?
Angels Take Manhattan.
Angels Take Manhattan, the one where they were on the spaceship, and it was Amy Pond and River Song. Well, in any case, he kept adding all those new rules to them, like the image of an angel is an angel. If you have the image of it in your head, then something's happening where you're counting down, you have to keep your eyes closed, and you can trick them into thinking that your eyes are opened, and eventually I'm just like, okay, Stephen, you're really good when Russell T. Davies is looking over your shoulder and kind of slapping your hand going no, but now that you have free reign, you're kind of getting stupid with it.
Not only that, but he likes to throw Clara into the Doctor's past. Are you fucking kidding me? Apparently every iteration of the Doctor had interacted with Clara in some way.
That comes off as like fan fiction-y.
Yeah, I saw that and I
Yeah.
was like whenever the Doctor first steals the TARDIS, it was Clara who had him choose, which TARDIS he was currently going to be using for like the rest of the series for 50 years. Like, come the fuck on.
I do have a quick question, because an indication of how far behind, and I don't know who Clara is.
Clara is the newest assistant for like the last season of Matt Smith. I watched a little bit of Matt Smith. I'm going to be rewatching it all after Sherlock is over.
Is that directly after Amy Pond left?
Yeah, it's right after Amy
yes.
and
So
Rory.
I haven't seen her leave. So
The way they leave and the reason behind why they have to leave, I think, is another... I won't spoil it for you, but I think it's another example of Moffat's writing not making much sense.
nah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Moffat, as I displayed earlier when warning about Sherlock. But he's good sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes.
I think he
What was the one where, going back to I don't like what was her name, Rose Tyler, at all. Like, I choose the most annoying character in the universe to me. But the series with her and Tennant, and the two-part episode where they're at the black hole with the Baden.
Where the Doctor fights Satan.
Yeah, basically.
Oh,
I thought that was
yeah.
a great episode.
That was good.
Just because of all the David, I got really sick of David Tennant knowing everything throughout the series. He just came across as overly good at what he does, and then suddenly he doesn't know anything. I thought that was actually a really good twist on what they'd been doing so far.
I don't hate Rose as a companion. I just hate that every companion after her had to be compared to Rose, and so many fans like, "Oh, they're not as good as Rose was."
That's the thing that I don't get though, because Martha Jones was awesome.
Oh, okay.
She was.
Shit. No. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Martha Jones. Here's what I'm gonna say. Martha Jones had the potential to be a great companion, but she was a terrible companion. But once she left and became like a side character, she was amazing. She was the best side character they had. But as a companion, all the shoehorned, oh, the Doctor doesn't love me. All he thinks about is Rose. And it's like, fuck you. Jesus Christ.
I almost
fair.
thought that Martha was almost like a writer insert. Like they wanted people to like the new companion, but they were bemoaning the fact that all the fans could keep going on about was Rose.
Well, no, to be fair, it wasn't just that, because the Doctor was pretty much always going on about Rose as well. So it was like Rose was gone and no one was getting over it. And it was just this new character, and suddenly it's like, oh, this is all everyone's talking about, so how come this new character, who proves to be awesome later on, yeah, but never gets a fair shake at it?
And I think that was kind of her whole story arc, was she had to learn to basically not give a shit about impressing the Doctor, and it culminates when she's about to use the Osterhagen key and blow up the Earth, and the Doctor's like, you can't do that. And she's like, yeah, fuck you. And I thought Donna's my favorite companion of the new series, hands down.
Yes.
Was that Catherine
Yes.
Tate?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that's where I
Guys.
stopped watching. I don't like
Guys.
Catherine Tate, but for non-Doctor reasons.
Guys,
What?
me and Zilla don't watch Doctor Who, so we don't have a fucking clue what to say. Zilla messaged me saying, I'm not really sure what to say, so me and him were like, yeah, me either. Just like, let this roll out.
Shall we talk about things we like that everyone else seems to hate then?
We can, but I may cut it off right here and make that as a separate podcast. So, until when I get around to uploading this next, I hope that you viewers at home stay tuned, keep watching. We've got more stuff on the way, and have a happy Halloween.
Moffat's under your bed.
Oh god, that's terrifying.